I am going to, yes, the echo is gone because I am speaking and Chuck's muted, but I'm going to mute myself so that Chuck can speak and pick this up wherever we're leaving off. Okay, all right, Groucho Marx or whoever Marx or whatever Charlie Chaplin. I'm muting myself.
Hello? Now, can I be heard? I don't know what more I can say. You see, this is where I miss our spontaneity, where we can just play off of each other. It's awkward. You speak and I speak. This is like foreign territory to the two of us. No, I mean, I'm sorry I threw out the F word there, but that's what I heard. She heard the S word. I heard the F word, but we both heard Elizabeth swear. And basically complained that she had to lay there in eternity listening to the Last Supper guided audio tour. But that was also just Elizabeth's levity. I used to be acquainted with one of her former personal assistants, and I was once going to have lunch with Elizabeth Taylor. This was the last year of her life. It was when I was working in West Hollywood at Earth Bar, where you used to work yourself. And you remember Hugo's restaurant, a block down. And it turns out that Elizabeth loved Hugo's, and she had a special table there. Just sort of in the back, and people would leave her alone. And he told me, this was when she was very ill, last year of her life, and she was going to Cedar Sinai a lot to see her doctors. Poor thing, she had congestive heart failure and some other issues. And then she would go there for lunch. And he said, "Well, I tell you what, um, when we're there, we will send for you and you can come down and join us, have lunch with us." He said, "Elizabeth actually asked to have lunch with me." And I'll explain this part. It goes back to, I'm originally from the state of Virginia. And this was after I had left my hometown in the southwestern part of Virginia, and I was going to college in Richmond. So I missed out on this. But she was married to John Warner at the time. I think he was he husband number six, number seven, number eight? I forget which number husband he was, but there was a husband after John Warner, and he became our senator. But Elizabeth, bless her heart, this was when she thought she had given up show business for good. She honestly thought, "I'm retired. I'm just going to get, quoting her, I'm going to get fat and I'm going to be happy." And they had a farm in central Virginia. Well, anyway, she would get on a tour bus, like a campaign bus, and go from town to town campaigning for her husband. The great Elizabeth Taylor came to my hometown, and believe me, that's the biggest thing that ever happened to my little rinky-dink hometown in southwestern Virginia. I always tell people it was like Mayberry on the Andy Griffith Show. So imagine Elizabeth Taylor coming to Mayberry, and Barney and Andy and Aunt B and Gomer. "Oh, it's Liz Taylor." Well, it was kind of like that. And our local newspaper came out once a week, and they must have bought a special font, and they must have bought red ink just for this newspaper, because in big red letters, "Liz Taylor visits narrows my town." And so I told the assistant about this. This was many years after the fact. I said, "Oh, do tell Elizabeth the story of how my little hometown newspaper did that in big red letters, how she came to visit, and it was such a big deal." And he got back to me and said she was so charmed by that story. She thought that was the sweetest thing in the world. And she autographed a picture for me and sent it to me. And the remember the dry cleaners that was next to our store, Holloway? Was She used to go there for her dry cleaning, and she would sit in the car, and the assistant would go in and get it. And in the car, because remember we had big windows, she said, "Now tell me, who was it? Who was it who I signed the picture for? Point him out to me." And she was pointing out to me in the store, and she saw me and everything. And he got back to me and said she wanted to have lunch with me. And she was very sincere about it, but her health was failing that year. She was very, very ill, and it kept getting postponed, and ultimately we never got together. But I almost had lunch with Elizabeth Taylor. and it was